Hey BookTube! I couldn't wait any longer to do this tag because we are so close. We are so close to the final season. It airs in a few days. I am just... Do you know? Oh, I love Game of Thrones and I can't wait to start reading it after the TV series is finished. I've been like saving the experience of reading the books for after the TV series is finished, because then it's like I can just like try and ease my pain a little bit by going back to the beginning, you know, like the sweet summer child that I am. So today, obviously, we're doing a Game of Thrones tag. So I will have the creator of this tag and their blog linked in the description down below. And basically what this tag does is it takes the house words of all the major houses of Westeros and it gives you like a prompt to answer based loosely on the house words. And they're all bookish, obviously, because this is a booktube channel, so that's what we're doing today. So question 1 is House Greyjoy, We Do Not Sow, a book that you would not be willing to invest in. I think for me this is Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter series. I think I kind of missed the boat on maybe enjoying these when I was much younger, and I know there's like a lot of controversy surrounding the books, so that, and there's like a lot of them, so it's like a big commitment and I'm just not willing to invest in buying all the books of that series. I'm just not going to read them. Question 2 is House Targaryen, Fire and Blood. And the question for this is a book that produced strong emotions in you. And I had to have a think about this, but honestly, it's probably Midnight Over Sanctifrax by Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell. Now, this is the last book in the Twig cycle of the Edge Chronicles books, and oh my god, there are a lot of books that have stirred emotion in me since, but I loved reading those books as a child so much, and when it came to read the last chapter, I was like really emotional, and then it got to the last page and I was like, I couldn't read the last page because I didn't want to say goodbye to those characters, so I didn't read the last page for months because like I wasn't emotionally ready to say goodbye. Like I was still in mourning. I don't even remember how Midnight Over Sanctifrax ended. I don't even remember much about what that book was about, but I just remember that it just something about coming to the end of a series, like not even what was written on the book, but just the fact that I couldn't read anymore about Twig and his Sky Pirate companions. I was a real passionate little child, okay? So question 3 is for House Stark and their words are winter is coming. Boy, don't we know it. And this question is, what is your favourite winter read? And like, I had a hard time thinking of this because I don't really associate a lot of books with a particular time of year, but I think the books I most associate with Christmas time and that I most think about reading around like winter time and Christmas time tend to be the Harry Potter books, and I think it's just because I used to get a lot of books for Christmas as a child, and most of the books and most of the movies have like Christmassy scenes in them, so I tend to associate them with like the winter months. So yeah, that's the best answer I have, just like the whole Harry Potter series. Question 4 is for House Tully, Family, Duty, Honour. And the question is a book about strong family ties. Now, I almost can't think of a single book that has anything to do with family. I guess I just haven't read a lot of books like that. I was trying to think, like, do you count like found family? Because I've just finished reading Six of Crows and that's kind of a family. I mean, it's a gang, but it's kind of a family. But that may be the best answer that I have, like, at the moment. Question 5 is for House Tyrell, whose words are growing strong. And the prompt for this is a book for which you had low expectations but that grew on you over time. And so for this, I think I'm going to say The Great Gatsby. I read this for my A-levels and I didn't really think I would like it very much because, I mean, like, it's not a fantasy. There's no dragons, but honestly my favourite thing about that book is just the language and like some of the quotes that you get from that book. Is just, I really enjoyed reading that book. I didn't think that I would, but like I really did, and it's probably one of my favourite classics. Question 6 is House Baratheon, Ours is the Fury, and the prompt is of course a book that made you furious. The only one I could really think of for this, one book I can think that I have ever just like thrown down in disgust and haven't picked up since, is The Last Wish, and this is actually the first book in the Witcher series, the series that the Witcher video games were based on. And I won't go too much into why, and I think I might actually try and give this book a reread, possibly vlog it, but there is one moment in this book with an unconscious, mentally ill, naked 14-year-old girl and a really sexual comment that is made from what I can consider to be the author's point of view, and I just threw the book down in disgust and didn't pick it up since. And I think I'm gonna try and reread it, but like I was just so mad. I was just so actually so angry, and it just put a sour taste in my mouth, and I didn't want to pick up the book since. But I think I'm going to try and reread it, and I may bring you along for the experience. But yeah, I don't think any book has ever made me like that annoyed in the moment of like actually just reading it. So for question 7 we have House Martell, whose words are unbowed, unbent, unbroken. I mean, no spoilers, but are you sure? Are you sure about that? The prompt for which is a book you have an unwavering devotion to. Now, I'm not really sure there are any books to which I have an unwavering devotion. Like, I'm not entirely sure what that means in the context of a book. Is it just a book that I will love to the end of time? Or is it a book where no matter what happens to it or what the next books in the sequel bring or how problematic it might be, like I'm just devoted to it? Like, what exactly does it mean? I think I'm gonna kind of take this to mean that like no matter what anyone ever says about the book, like I'm gonna love this book, I think. So for that I'm gonna say The Stolen Throne by David Gader, which is the first book in the Dragon Age series of novels, because this book, oh my god, like I just love Dragon Age, I love the video games, and therefore I love the books. Like, if you don't play the games, you're probably not gonna have the same attachment to the books that I do, but just I had a lot of feelings reading that book, and I know a lot of people just don't care for it in the fandom, but like, I like this book. And so question 8, the final question, is for House Lannister, whose house words are hear me roar, but the tag maker has elected to go with a Lannister always pays his debts because it's the more well-known saying. And the prompt for these words is a book you feel indebted to. I think there are a few that I could go with, but for me the most obvious one is Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I think I just read this book at the perfect time in my life. I loved this book so much when I read it, and it put me in a really specific state of mind that then led on to me like continuing to sort of chase like this really gothic, dark, artistic feeling that came over me when I read the book, and it inspired me to write one of the best things that I have ever written and make some of the best changes to my books that I have ever made, just because of the sort of mood and headspace it put me in. So yeah, I definitely feel just a little bit indebted to that book. So that was everything. I really enjoyed doing this tag. I know some people tend to add more depending on the other houses, like House Clegane. I don't know the words for that house. I don't know if there are any. Prompt being how many chickens could you eat? My answer being all of them. So this tag was really fun to do. I love talking about Game of Thrones, and I just love thinking about it. I'm so excited for the finale, and I like talking about books. So let me know if any of you guys watch Game of Thrones. Who is everyone's favourite character? You know, honestly, just start talking about Game of Thrones to me. Like, tell me in the comments below, who is your favourite character? Who do you want to win? And give me one prediction for the finale. I don't know. My one prediction, I've had, wait, just realising now that maybe I should have worn this shirt, but for like the past several years my prediction has been the same. And my prediction is mainly just like a request, it's just something that I want to see. And that is Clegane Bowl. This is like my only Game of Thrones shirt, but like, I just want to see the Hound kick the ass of his awful, weird, now a zombie big brother. Like, I just want to see them fight. I just want to see them fight. Like, they started to fight in season 1. Come on, Game of Thrones, close the gap, make it a circle, make him just, I just want to see Clegane Bowl. I just want to see the Clegane brothers fight, like, I really do. So yeah, I actually made this shirt just to let you know how much I wanted to see this, and I have been unendingly hype since like 2015, 2016, waiting for this to happen. I thought it might happen in the last series, we got so close, and I just want it to happen. That was like a real hectic end to this video. So I think before this video gets too hectic, I'm gonna sign off. So thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more mess like this, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos that are popping up, like hopefully like somewhere here. I don't really have an outro because I'm a bit new to booktube, but hopefully I'll be around for a while, so it would be nice if I could also make some friends who like Game of Thrones. So do let me know down in the comments, and yeah, that's been about it for this video. Thanks for watching, and peace out, booktube.